Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world, to the world away. We now got part 3 of deagostini's Build Your Own Iron Man. Okay, there's a lot going on the world of Wayne this week, so stay tuned to the end and I'll give you details of the competition which is running till Wednesday and all the things that we're going to be doing this week because there is so much. But without further ado, issue 3 of deagostini's Build Your Own Iron Man is proudly brought to you by Wesley Martin. Wesley's actually helped me with the last 2 Iron Man builds. He's managed to source them for me and get them sent to me. So Wesley, thank you so much. Shout out for you. I really do appreciate that. Looking at this, it looks fiddly. Look, we're going to be doing the Gauntlet. And look at all these finger parts here. Now, I'm already aware that there is some screw issues with this, and we're going to look at those as we go along. But let's open these out and see what we've got. In this one, we have got the batteries, and on the back here, it does give us details right at the top here of part 4, which is coming out, which is the arc reactor. Whether we get that would be another thing, but isn't it amazing that we're getting really big bits first? We're getting the helmet, we're getting the gauntlet, we're getting the arc reactor, and we've got one of the boots as well. Not quite sure how that's going to transpose to a 100 issue release, but we'll see. But all of those are powered separately, remember, as well, which is interesting, which is why we have got the batteries here in this one. So just getting the magazine out, once again, as you can see, we've got the subscription information if you want to subscribe to this. Obviously, it's still in trial, so I don't know what good this will do by filling this out. And obviously, because it's in trial, all these free gifts are likable to change as well. So you'll have to look at that if that comes round. Just about the guarantee that when you do subscribe as well. Here's the magazine. As you can see, the batteries are stuck to it. The batteries that come with this build are AG6. So if you need to get yourself hold of them, as you can see, AG6 down there. And this is what the magazine looks like. So what we're going to be doing is, if I just turn to the pages where we're actually building it, they've laid it out for us in sort of like a way that we can actually work through it, because there are a lot of fiddly pieces here. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting the fingers together and then putting the fingers onto the actual palm section. They are going to be able to be articulated, so we can grip the fingers just like that. We've got a light to go in there as well, and obviously that's going to be powered by its own battery source, so it does look really good when it's finished, but it does look a really fiddly build, this one. So without further ado, I can't wait to get cracking on this one. And what I'll do at the end as well is I'll put in what we've built so far as well, as you can see everything so far in this trial. Anyway, let's get cracking. There we go. I've opened that gently because I don't want to fly these out all over the place, because these do look like they're in an order, and we're going to be able to see that when we actually start putting things together. Now, I'm taking this out as I find them. They're basically saying we need parts 3C and 3D, but unfortunately, if you look at these, none of these are labelled up as a 3C or 3D, so you're going to have to visually match them up. The tip of the thumb here has got a number 1 on it, and just looking at the ball joint, it's the only one with the large ball joint, which is going to go into the palm section. This hasn't got anything on it at all, as far as I can see. So you are going to have some fun straight away trying to match these pieces up. As a matter of fact, on the actual ball joint, it says number 1 as well. So that's going to match up what we're doing with the tip. So make sure you've got both ones together. So what we're going to do is, because we've matched these up with 1 and 1, we're just going to be putting them together so that it's nice and flat on top, and then it still be able to articulate. We are going to be holding this together with a screw, which is going to be going in this side. If you look at the other side here, it's just a hole. You want the screw to be embedded actually into this piece as well. And I believe the screw that we're going to be putting in here, it's a CP screw, looking just like that. So we'll get these out of the bag that they're in. There's quite a lot of screws in this, so I'm not going to introduce you to them straight away, because I'm going to get confused otherwise. But as I said, we're going to be putting these in just at the point on this side, so that the screw's going to go all the way through and be hidden from the other side. Put them in now. Nice and tight. You don't want it too tight, because you still want to be able to articulate these fingers. And as you see, I've put that way too tight. So let's just unloosen that a little bit. There we go. And then that enables, with a little ratchet control there, to be able to turn it still and articulate the fingers however you want. Very good. Let's do the next finger. Now the next fingers are made up of 3 sections here. So I'm just going to look what numbers are actually on these. This one has got a number 5 on it, which means we're going to want to find the corresponding number 5 which is there. And then we want the number 5 knuckle piece, which is there. And then once again, all the flat sides are going to be going together. So we can put this together like that. And then with the number 5 on the end here, will just fit nicely like that. So we've got one straight finger. Now as you can see, we've got 2 screw holes in here. Now I believe this is where we're going to have our first screw problem, because I can believe that we've got to put a CP screw just in the thicker part here, which is the knuckle part here. But I don't believe we've got to put the same screw in the one further up. So I'm going to put this one in first. Make sure it fits okay. Just like that. And then in this one here, I'm going to be putting in, for the second knuckles in, I'm going to be using DP screws. So follow my advice on this. This was on the forum, so thank you to, I believe it was Ronnie Salt, who solved this one for us. So I appreciate that. I'll put a link to the forums in the description as well. But I'm putting DP screws just into that second joint just there. So let's get that in. I am glad that we've actually got to see what a hand's going to look like as well, because I thought that was it. I mean, after the helmet, I thought that was it. I didn't think we're going to see any more of the trial here, but there we go. That's that in. Just going to loosen it a bit just so I can articulate at the end as well. Just like that. There we go. And we can have a finger there. So let's move along and do the next finger. Bringing it across. All I'm doing is just matching numbers up rather than where the finger goes at the moment. So this one's got a number 2 on it. You can see just on the end there. So we get everything that says number 2 out. Just check in. No, that's got a number 4 on it. There we go. Number 2 is this one here. And then we just need the middle piece. There we go, number 2. So we can put that to one side. And then once again, the first knuckle in is going to be a CP screw. Just making sure we put it in the right way. Once again, make sure it's flat on top. And that's how you know you got it in the right way. And I'll get a screw, CP screw, just in that first joint. I can see this build doing just these little bits here being probably the fiddliest this is going to get, because it is quite a big model and I can't see it being that difficult to put together. I haven't put it all the way tight, so it still enables me to bend them over. And then once again, just as was recommended, make sure that that's in flat like that. We're going to be putting one of the DP screws in. And that's going in nice and easy. Just like that. Making sure I can still turn it. Yep, no problems at all. That's 2 fingers done. Let's do the third one. This time we're going to be taking out number 3. As you can see, it's got number 3 written on it. Find another one. Number 3. And I'm guessing that this big one here is a number 3 as well, which it is. And we just continue more of the same. Making sure that we are putting it in the right way. Now notice I'm not using the Iron Man screwdriver for this. I know I'm going to get shot in the comments regarding that, but I'm finding it easier to put these in with a PH00 screwdriver, so I'm using my Wera screwdriver for that, PH00. And then we're going to put the last piece in, just the tip. Making sure we're putting it in the right way, which we are, and that's going to be held in again with a DP. Nice and easy. I'm just putting them in so it hides the screw from the side there. That's why I know it's not too tight, but it still enables me to bend them. And because of the ratchet inside this, that's what's enabled it to stay in place. And then it's quite easy to figure out what the last one is, isn't it? It's just what fingers we've got left. So we get them out. And once again, put these together. CP screw. Nice and easy. Make sure that's in. Lovely. And then we're going to put an EP screw just into this end piece here. Did I say EP? I meant DP. DP screw just into the end here. The amount of names these screws have got. Surprised I'm not getting myself confused. And there we go. So we have got 4 fingers. Now obviously it's simple to figure out what one's little finger is. We know what the thumb is, so we'll figure the rest out as we get to put these in. Okay, so the next piece we need is the actual palm section of the glove here, or the gauntlet. In this it's looking silver inside. It hasn't been painted, but in the pictures it's red. But it is worth bearing that in mind. And we're going to need the little translucent panel which is going to broadcast the light through it, looking just like that. And that's just going to fit over these points here, here and here. So from the other side, as you can see, this is how the light's going to shine through it. I'm going to hold it that way around because we need to put 2 screws into here. And the screws that we're going to be putting in are AM screws. And we've got AM screws looking like that, just in a little pack. Let's take this out. Got 2 of these to put in. And once again, I'm using my PHO screwdriver this time, because the screws aren't as small. And we'll just put them in. That's the first one in. And the second one. When I first saw all of these pieces in the pack, I have to say, I'm not ashamed. I'm pretty scared to do this issue. I thought it was going to be hard, but believe me, it's not hard at all. There we go. That's what that looks like. Now we're going to need the other side of the palm. Now this side, as you can see, was metal. This side's plastic, just so you know. So we've got a metal and plastic hybrid there. We're going to be putting the battery box into here. Now the battery box is red here, but in the picture it's white. So don't get confused by that. And quite simply, as you can see, you've got a switch down the bottom. That's just going to go into the hole that you see down the bottom there. So when we put it in, make sure the switch goes all the way through. It's going to look like that on this side. We're going to be screwing it on this side here with BP screws. So we've got the BP screws here. Let's open them up. This is held in with 2 of these. So here's the first one going in. Nice and tight. My battery box, I have to say, apart from the colour, it doesn't look anything like the picture. So let's hope this works. But there we go. So that's what that looks like from that side when it's done. And as you can see the switch down here, and I'm able to control that with my finger there. Now I've zoomed up the camera because we're going to be putting the fingers in. It's quite simple to see where they go because they go in number order. So the thumb is going to be number 1. The index finger is going to be number 2, but that's number 4, so that's going to be going there. This one's number 3, so that's the middle finger, it's going to go there. This one's number 2, which is the index finger, so it's going to go there. And this one says number 5, as you can see there, so that's going to be the little finger. We're going to be putting these in just like this. So that's the first one in. There's the second. There's the third. So they are holding themselves in here. Here comes the fourth. And last but not least, the thumb is just going to go in there. Okay, so before we put the top on, we've got this piece here looking just like that. And as you can see, it's quite symmetrical, but we need to make sure we put it in the right way. It's going to go into that slot down the bottom there, so that we've got an attachment point piece that we can actually attach something to afterwards. And then once that's in place, we're going to put everything together by putting this top on now. So make sure it's all lined up, push it down, and there we go. That's how that's going to look. Going to turn it upside down, and as you can see, we have got 3 screw holes here. 1, put my thumb over 1, 2 and 3. Now it does say that we need to put BP screws in there, but we've got no more BP screws left. What we have got are FM screws. Now because this is going into metal, we need to make sure we're using the FM screws. It's the only metal screw I believe that comes in this build. That's how you can tell what the right screw is. So there is another screw error in there, just to let you know. But I'm making sure that's really tight, because the tighter you do this, the more this is going to keep the fingers into place. So that's that lot in. Let's do the second one. Remember, FM screws if you have got yourself one of these. I'm sure this will all be fixed when it goes into full production. But if you are doing the trial or you got this, it is worth telling you now. The screws are a little bit funky in the magazine. And here's the third one here. Make sure it's nice and tight. There we go. So it should look like that from the bottom, that from this side at the moment, that from the other side, and there we go for the top. So a couple more bits left to do. We need to put the batteries in, so let's get them open. So from my experience, it's the flat part which is going towards the springs, that side there, rather than that side there. So that side there should be touching the springs. So I'm going to put the first one in, get the second one in, exactly the same way round. And there we go. That's the light on. But I'm not going to tease you with that yet, because we need to put the battery cover on. Now the battery cover, it's got a little magnet on top of it, as you can see, and you'll see what that's for in a minute, but that quite simply just fits over the top here. Keep the batteries protected. We need to put a screw in here, and all we have to do is put the BP screw that we got left in here. Earlier I said it was BP screws that they wanted in these ones. No, it was EM screws, but obviously it's FM are the ones we've got. So see, even I'm getting confused with the screws. Okay, so that looks just like that, and then all we have to do, just making sure actually that screw's not in all the way. Let me do that again. There we go. Now, as you can see, the screw's actually coming out slightly on the top of that. Now you need to hide that, which is why you've got a magnet in there. As you can see, we've got a magnet on there, a magnet on here, and it can only go on one way, and it's going to fit on just like that. So that is what the glove's looking like. Let's turn it on, just so you get an idea of how that's looking again. Put that to one side, put the case over, and there we go. And as I said, you can articulate the fingers how you want. I'm just going to have them sort of like gripping, I suppose. Perhaps a little bit more there. Move the thumb a little bit there. There we go. And that's what that looks like. What do you think of that? That looks excellent. Absolutely lovely. Let me just show you this on the main camera for scale. There's my hand. Pretty cool, huh? And let's put together what we've done so far. So in this build, we've got the Gauntlet there. We've got the boot. And this is what that looks like with the light on, as you can see there. If I put that on its side there, and I'll put the cover back on. And then obviously we've got the helmet, which again, I'll have the lights on for that. Whoops, there. Get this turned so it goes on. There we go. And there's the helmet as well. So that's the three things that we've got completed at the moment, all switched on. The next thing we're supposed to be getting is the arc reactor. That's going to look good when that's put on. But really impressive build. I really like this to go in production, but I'm a little concerned that all the goodies have all been done in the first 4 issues. Or going to be done in the first 4 issues. What's your thoughts on that? Put it down in the comments and tell me what you think about that. Hopefully, as I said, this will get a full release. Anyway, Wednesday is the closing date for the competition that we're running, where I'm giving away 2 issue 1s of this build and 1, there's the second one, just to prove I've got 2, and I'm giving away 1 issue 2, which is the boot of this build. Instructions for that, all you need to do is go over to Twitter, and I'll put my Twitter address down here, and just put your YouTube username and hashtag WowIronBuild, which I put down here as well, so you can get that right. The competition's going to close on Wednesday, and I'm going to be drawing it on Thursday, this Thursday, on my live stream, so you'll be able to see me drawing that live. I'm going to be using my Amazon Alexa, who I'm probably just going to turn on by saying that as a random number generator for those 3, and I'm going to put it on an Excel spreadsheet, and we'll look together to see who's won. You'll know it exactly the same time I know, so that's going to be fun. The other thing, I'm going to be doing the Build the DeLorean videos tomorrow, but I'm warning you about that now because I've got issue 41, 42 and 44 to do. I'm going to be doing 3 in a day, and I am separating the videos. I know a lot of people are saying that I should be doing the train tracks and the rails all in one video. I'd love to do that, but it's my OCD where I've done individual videos for each magazines right from issue 1, and I don't really want to break that now. So if you don't want to watch them, then skip by, but I will try and make them entertaining. So they're only going to be about 2 or 3 minutes long because they're so quick to do. But there's going to be 3 videos out for the DeLorean, and that brings that up to date. I've also got my Terminators now. I've got the backlog from the ones that I was missing, and we've got Bismarck coming this week as well. There's a lot to do this week anyway. Anyway, listen, I hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please click that subscribe icon and the bell next to it, and you'll be notified when a new video becomes live. Other than that, take care. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please remember to give it a like. And if you haven't done so already, please remember to subscribe. Take care.